How do you exploit weaknesses in the endgame? Have you ever found yourself in an endgame where your opponent seems to have the upper hand? Understanding how to exploit weaknesses can turn the tide in your favor. Let's break down some practical techniques to help you gain the advantage. First, it is essential to identify weaknesses in your opponent's position. Look for backward pawns, isolated pawns, or doubled pawns. These are common vulnerabilities that can be targeted. Weak squares that cannot be easily defended also present opportunities for attack. Once you have spotted these weaknesses, apply pressure. Use your pieces, especially your rooks and king, to attack weak pawns or occupy those weak squares. For instance, if your opponent has a backward pawn, targeting it forces them to defend passively, limiting their options. Next, control open files and key diagonals. In the endgame, these become crucial for your pieces to penetrate your opponent's position. Place your rooks on open files and your bishops or queens on long diagonals to increase pressure on those weaknesses. Do not forget about your king. Unlike in earlier phases of the game, the king is a powerful attacking piece in the endgame. Use it actively to attack weak pawns or support your own pawn advances while restricting your opponent's king. Another effective strategy is the principle of two weaknesses. Creating or exploiting two separate weaknesses in your opponent's position often overwhelms their ability to defend. If they only have one weakness, they can usually hold it, but two weaknesses stretch their defenses thin. Consider blocking and restricting your opponent's pawns. If they have isolated or backward pawns, placing a piece in front of them can neutralize their potential. This forces your opponent into passive defense and opens up chances to attack other weaknesses. Creating multiple threats is also a smart tactic. By threatening different weaknesses at the same time, you stretch your opponent's defenses. This can lead to mistakes or concessions, such as losing material or allowing a passed pawn to advance. In some endgames, subtle waiting moves can lead to Zugzwang. This is a situation where any move your opponent makes worsens their position. Using this technique can help you exploit weaknesses further. Understanding pawn structures is key. Weak structures create targets that you can attack. For example, doubled or isolated pawns can be attacked directly or used as anchors for your pieces to infiltrate. Finally, combine your attack on weaknesses with your strengths. Sometimes, exploiting a weakness involves attacking it on one side of the board while using your strengths on the other. This dual approach can overwhelm your opponent's defenses. In practical terms, always look for ways to improve your piece activity, coordinate your forces, and create or increase weaknesses in your opponent's camp. The endgame rewards precise and patient play focused on exploiting small advantages. Mastering these techniques will significantly improve your ability to convert endgames into wins.